everybody, welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how to play the guitar solo from the classic Bon Jovi song, Wanted Dead or Alive. Now I did this lesson for two reasons. One, some of you guys have been asking for some easier solos, so this should qualify. And then second, I just think it's a fantastic solo. And every note is just perfectly placed. It's simple, it's to the point, it's quick, and it just goes to show you don't always need to play a million notes to get the point across. Well, sometimes it's fun to play a million notes, but sometimes it's better just to hang back and dig in. All right, let's jump on into it. All right, section one goes like this. Okay, now I want to call a few things out here. Look at the third note in. Notice how it's a little bit smaller than the other notes? Whenever you see a tab notated that way, where that note is a little bit smaller, it means you don't really emphasize that note, you don't stay on that note very long, you just go through that note quickly, okay, if that makes sense. So when I do that slide from the third note of the A string to the fifth, okay, I don't go, I do it quickly, okay? That happens again at the seventh and the ninth notes in. Again, we're not playing those notes or holding them very long, we're coming out of those notes pretty quickly, okay? So here it is again. All right, slowly. Here's the whole section slowly. Okay, see how I didn't emphasize those notes? I went through them pretty quickly. And then when you see the open A string note in parentheses, it's kind of a ghost note. It just kind of happens on accident. Don't get too hung up on that. Just play it as the tabs show, and you'll be fine. The next section. So I want to call a couple things out here. Notice the first time I do the 15th fret bend on the E string, I bend it up, and then at the top I hit the note again, but quickly come down. Okay? Again, it's one of those little notes where we capture it with a smaller font because you're going through that note quickly. Here's the whole part slowly, this whole section. Then the last thing I want to call out about this section is that final bend at the 15th fret of the E string. You're going to bend up, hold it for just a little bit, and then add the vibrato. Okay? The next section. With that one, I want to call out first that 5th fret of the D string artificial harmonic. It's a pretty wide vibrato. A lot of times I see people, instead of doing the 5th fret of the D string, they'll do the 3rd fret of the A like this. Okay, it sounds okay when you do it that way, but to my ear, it's the 5th fret of the D string. And the last thing I want to call out there is when I do the hold it for just a little bit, add some vibrato to the chord, slide up, slide down. The next part goes like this. Lots of pinch harmonics going on in there. You can see where I've notated where the artificial or pinch harmonics are going on. There's really not a lot to explain in that part, but here it is slowly again. The next section. With that part, the tabs should be pretty easy to follow. You can see where I'm applying pinch harmonics. The one piece of advice I want to give you is that when you're doing these bends up at the 12th fret and hitting those 13th fret notes right after it, okay, you don't want to blend those notes. When you bend those 12th fret notes up, you want to stop that note from playing by lightly lifting your finger off the string before hitting those 13th fret notes. You don't want them to blend. If you make them blend, it'll sound like this. Right? I mean, that sounds pretty cool, and there's a lot of guitar solos where you want to do that, but not in this one. You want to make sure that you're lifting your fingers lightly off those strings to make them stop before hitting the 13th fret notes. Here it is slowly. Now the last part goes like this. Now that part should be pretty easy to follow. Obviously that final C to D power chord slide is a quick one. You're going out of that first, the C chord pretty quickly into the D. The other thing I want to call out is I've seen this part played and tabbed a lot of different ways. When I slow down the original and listen to it closely, what you're seeing in the tabs is what I hear. That said, when Richie plays it live, he tends to do it a little bit differently, and I've seen people tab it this way, where it looks like this. So instead of doing that C power chord that's near the end, he does a G power chord. Instead of the open A, he does an open E, okay? So like this. Right? I think if you play it either way, it's going to sound fine, but I wanted to make sure that I showed you both ways. The way that it's played on the record and the way that I've seen him do it live many times. You can choose which way you want to do it yourself. Alright, that was my video showing you how to play the guitar solo from the classic Bon Jovi song, Wanted Dead or Alive. If you enjoyed it, feel free to hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you can get all of my videos as soon as they come out. And if you have questions, leave them down below and I will answer all as time allows. As always, until next time, rock on.